Same prompt, same settings. Three completely different images. That difference, that's the model. And after this episode, you'll know exactly which one to reach for and why. Welcome back to TGH Learnings and the ComfyUI Mastery Series. This is episode 4 and it's a special one because it's the final episode of Phase 1 Foundations. After this, you'll have everything you need to generate images with full intention and control. Phase 2 is where we get into the really exciting advanced techniques, control net, in painting, low RAS. But first, we need to nail the models. So what exactly is a model? You've been using one since episode 1. But let's actually explain it properly. A model is a massive file, typically between 2 and 224 gigabytes, that contains billions of numerical values called weights. These weights were set during a training process where the AI was shown hundreds of millions of images paired with text descriptions. Over time, through billions of calculations, it learned the statistical relationship between words and visual patterns. When you generate an image in ComfyUI, you're essentially running that process in reverse. You give it text, and it uses everything it learned during training to reconstruct what an image matching that description should look like, starting from pure noise and refining it step by step. That's why your step setting matters. Each step is one iteration of that refinement. Now the critical thing to understand is this. Different models were trained on different data with different techniques at different resolutions. That's what creates the visual difference you saw in the starting of the video. All three models understood the same prompt, but what they know about the world, about aesthetics, about detail and style is fundamentally different. Let's go through each one. Stable Diffusion 1.5 was released in 2022, and this might surprise you. It's still the most widely used base architecture for fine-tuned models today. The reason isn't that it's the best looking, it's that 2 years of community development has produced an extraordinary ecosystem around it. There are thousands of fine-tuned ST 1.5 models on CVTI alone, models trained to generate specific art styles, specific aesthetic moods, specific character types, all built on this foundation. For us, on 8GB VRAM, SD 1.5 is genuinely great. It runs fast, it's fully compatible with every control net node we'll use in episode 5, and it works with a massive library of low RAS, the style transfer tools we cover in episode 7. I'd recommend starting with Realistic Vision V6 as your default SD 1.5 model. It's what we've been using in episodes 1 through 3, and it's consistently one of the best rated models on CivitAI. We have downloaded this model in the episode 1. Watch episode 1 for the installation guide. SDXL was released in 2023 as Stability AI's next generation architecture. The biggest change isn't just resolution, it's the quality of what happens at that resolution. SDXL has a significantly larger and more complex model architecture than SD 1.5, which translates to better understanding of complex prompts, more coherent compositions, and dramatically improved anatomy, particularly hands and faces, which are notoriously difficult for AI image generators. One thing I want to flag for those of us on 8GB VRAM, you'll often see SDXL tutorials use both a base model and a refiner model. The refiner is a second SDXL model that polishes the final output. It's good, but it needs more VRAM than we have comfortably available. My recommendation, use SDXL base only for now. The base model alone at 1024 by 1024 will produce results that are significantly better than SD 1.5, and it's completely manageable on 8GB with the low VRAM flag. Here are some recommended SDXL models to try. The SDXL workflow changes a bit. Check these every time you switch to an SDXL model. First is empty latent image. Change width and height to 1024 by 1024. Second, in case sampler, change scheduler to SGM uniform designed for SDXL architecture or the recommended scheduler for that particular model. Third is steps. 25 to 30, SDXL benefits slightly more from extra steps than SD 1.5. Fourth is CFG, keep at 7, same as SD 1.5 or the recommended value. Everything else in your workflow stays the same nodes, same connections, same prompt approach. Here's how you can download the SDXL model. Go to CivitAI and click on Models. Here you can filter out the model to SDXL and select on checkpoint. Click on the model you want to download. I'm going with the Juggernaut model, which we've also used on episode 3. Always check the base model label before downloading. It's on the right side of every model page. If it says SD 1.5 and you load it into an SDXL workflow at 1024 by 1024, your results will be terrible and you won't know why. And always download the saved tensors format, not CKPT. The saved tensors format is newer, faster to load and secure. Before we dive into Flux, a quick hardware note. I've upgraded to an RTX 5070 Ti with 16GB of VRAM for the Flux sections of this series, and I'll be using that from here on whenever we work with Flux. There are two different workflows to use Flux. Flux is different. There are actually two ways to load and run Flux in ComfyUI, and they use completely different nodes. Let me show you both before we download anything, because which one you use depends on which type of Flux file you have. One is the all-in-one or AIO. One single .safe tensors file contains everything. The UNet diffusion model, both text encoders ClipL and T5XXL, and the VAE all packed into one download. It loads as we load a checkpoint node, same node you already know from S3 1.5 and SDXL. It's a simple one file, one node, familiar workflow, and its disadvantage is it's less flexible to mix components. Another is the separated or multiple file workflow. The model is split into individual components: the diffusion unit, the T5XXL text encoder, the ClipL encoder, and the VAE are all separate files. We assign the unit loader plus dual clip loader plus VAE loader nodes, 3 different nodes connected together. It's a mix and match components. We can upgrade individual parts and comes with more control. Its disadvantages are the larger total downloads and more complex workflow setup. For beginners, I strongly recommend the all-in-one approach. One file, one node. It works in your existing workflow structure. You just swap load checkpoint like you do for any other model. The separated approach is more powerful for advanced users who want to mix a Flux unit with a different VAE or experiment with different text encoders. But that complexity isn't worth it when you're getting started with Flux. We'll cover the separated workflow in the advanced episodes. Now let's download Flux. Instead of downloading from different websites, I recommend downloading directly from the official Black Forest Labs Hugging Face collection. This collection contains both eFlux 1 and the newer Flux 2 models, so it's the best place to stay up to date. You'll notice there are quite a few models here. Don't worry, you don't need to download everything. Let's understand what each one is. Flux 1 is the first generation of Flux models. You'll mainly see two versions, Flux 1 Schnell and Flux 1 Dev. Flux 1 Schnell is designed for speed. It's perfect if you want quick image generation while still getting excellent quality. This is the model I recommend for most beginners. And in Flux 1 Dev, Dev stands for development. It's slower but produces even better image quality and follows prompts more accurately. If you have a powerful GPU and want the best possible results, this is a great choice. Next is Flux 2. This is the second generation of Flux and brings improvements in image quality, editing and text rendering over Flux 1. You'll notice different variants. Flux 2 Dev. This is the highest quality open weight Flux 2 model. It produces amazing results but also requires significantly more hardware. Flux 2 Client is the lightweight version. It comes in 4B and 9B variants. These are designed to run much faster on consumer GPUs while still producing impressive images. Let's jump into the ComfyUI and start with the templates. Click on Templates and search for Flux. You will see the Flux 1 and Flux 2 variants here. Click on Flux 2 Client 9B. Again, search for the Flux and click on Flux 1 Schnell FP8. You'll notice two different types of workflow here. Flux 2 Dev with separate model and Flux 1 Schnell with AIO model. We will download both the model and place inside the folder as shown on the notes on left side. AIO will go to the checkpoint folder and separate goes to diffusion models, text encoders and VAE folder. Click on the error and download all the files. Download the files for AIO version as well. Once downloaded, place the Schnell AIO model inside the checkpoint folder. For the Flux 2 separate workflow, we have downloaded 3 files. Place the Flux 2 client model inside the Diffusion models folder. Place the QN3 text encoder inside the text encoders folder. And place the full encoder file inside the VAE folder. Now that we've downloaded and installed Flux, let's put it to the test. Earlier in this episode, we used 4 different prompts with SD1.5 and SDXL. Now let's use those exact same prompts with Flux and see how it performs. Everything else will stay the same, only the model changes. Here's the comparison of all the architecture outputs. That's phase 1 done. 4 episodes ago, you didn't have ComfyUI installed. Now you understand the node graph. You write structured prompts that get reliable results, and you can download, install, and switch between 3 different AI model architectures. That is a solid foundation, and you built it in 4 episodes. Phase 2 will be the image mastery, and episode 5 is ControlNet. Drop your comparison in the comments. I read everyone. If this helped you, hit like, subscribe so you catch episode 5, and I'll see you in phase 2.